the concept of looting and terrorizing in those moments, but whatever.
Yeah, well,
And
you
it's,
never know till it happens. I
yeah,
imagine you don't know how you're going to react.
yeah, this is true. In the what's the movie? In the not Don't Look Up, but the other one, Leave the World Behind. I didn't like the way it went off.
Which one?
Leave the World
Oh,
Behind.
Leave the World.
I didn't like the ending. It was okay. You know, they gave you all the information you needed, but I still wanted to see it.
Who's in that? I don't know if it's
What's his name? Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali, and
Oh,
Ethan Hawke. I think it is.
okay.
It's Ethan Hawke.
Hmm.
There.
Does the 10-foot rat? It's an inflatable, I would assume.
I had a choice between the 10-footer, 13-footer, 16-footer, or a 20-footer. I figured the 10-footer would be a quick setup, not much to carry, and it'll be a quicker setup.
And you could see 10-foot rat.
And it's
very
big.
visible.
10-footer is a huge rat.
Yeah, that's a decent.
I mean, it'll get noticed the same as the others, and you're right. It is easier. How does it? Does it need electricity to inflate?
Yes.
Comes with a pump.
Yes, compressor.
So does it have to plug in or?
Plug it into my truck. I have a what's it called? A converter in my truck.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
you do want a dry run before you bring it somewhere.
And to have a battery pack.
Yeah, I have a battery also as well. So if the battery runs that compressor, that's an easy setup.
It will.
That's an easy setup. Won't have to carry it.
It has the car charger, right? It should come with a car charger.
I got a car charger one, and I also have a battery, a standalone battery.
No, I don't mean it like that. I mean the rat itself.
It's got a compressor. I don't know.
So the cord may just be,
just stick it in the rat's
plug in, or it may have the two, where one is the car charger where you plug it into the cigarette lighter.
I got that.
If you have that, then you can put it into my my battery pack. Dope.
Can you carry it when it's inflated? I would assume. I mean,
if we had to, I'm sure we could.
You might not be able to park where you want to inflate it, so
right,
you'd have to inflate it in a parking area and carry it.
And no, just wheel it over in the wheelchair. That'd be kind of fun.
Well, again, you need a soft opening somewhere, a dry run.
Yeah, where are we going to set that up around here in Bayonne?
Well, I don't know. I would say you have to set it up somewhere else. You could go anywhere you can park. Excuse me, why are you inflating that here? I just want to see if I can carry it. We're not, go somewhere. I don't know what to say.
We have to go to the Clark Police, and I believe we need to go like a day ahead of time, because when I went to protest Maplewood, they said I needed to give them 4 or 6 hours advance notice.
And give them well, you'll be able to do that.
So I'll have to do that.
Wow, so they could prepare to make the...
Well, there's no knee-jerk reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a barrier maybe, set up an area for us. Where do we set up? Tell them we got 100 people coming.
They're going to set you up in the alleyway. You can't come 2 feet out of the alley.
Well, you do have the right to do that, and knee-jerk reactions. If you want that sort of reaction, you wouldn't check it out ahead of time.
Are they leaving, or is it empty?
It's empty right now.
Okay, so they're not leaving because she's up there talking.
They might be leaving because of her.
Why would you leave? The president didn't come up there, right?
No, I think today the vice president's going to speak, and tomorrow the president's going to speak, or the former president's going to speak.
And they're in Milwaukee. crazy how dynamics can change a person's perspective of the world. You know, just being on one side versus the other and being, I don't know, oblivious. Like you said, keeping your head down. What you don't know don't hurt you. And that's how I believe a lot of these Republicans are. It's one of those keep your head down. What I don't know won't hurt me. Because they don't understand anything. And they don't want to.
Well, there's a belief system. And when you develop a belief system, let's use religion.
Yeah.
Because who says it? Yeah, there's like 3,000 religions and only one can really be 100% right because they're different, and it's people's belief system will go a long way to find ways to keep believing something, I think. And I don't have a belief system that's so strong that I think I can't be wrong, because honestly, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was a long time ago. I realized, you mean I've been wrong about that? And there was no one to blame but me, because I just had a false impression that, and it was kind of stunning. But then when I came to grips with it, I was nothing but happy that I found out, because, okay, it's like President Bush, W. The fun one. Yeah, he used to say nuclear, not nuclear, like clear, nuclear, and he would say nuclear. Yeah, I don't want to start a nuclear war. And he did that the entire time he was president. All I could think of was, doesn't he have somebody that can tell him? I mean, he was blissful. He wasn't just, but that's why, it's the realization that you may well be wrong about anything you believe. And if you can come to grips with that, and the first time it's like, hey, when you're right, or I stand corrected, it doesn't hurt. And it's the only way people learn. People learn by being wrong, not by being right.
Yeah, you learn by being wrong. Yes.
Yeah, that's how you learn, when you bother to.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, hey, no matter how much you don't like somebody, not personally for the way they are, generally as a politician or somebody has sway over your life, you can find times a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
So like, you got to know what those two times are about somebody you don't like, what they have been right about, whether you like it or not. Because if you can't find, it's like, oh, he was right about this when he stole that idea from Republicans. He stole that idea. He was right because of that. They have to add an anchor to it, just an unfettered, I fucked up. I was wrong.
Yeah.
And about somebody, otherwise, I don't know how I could give. I don't really care what anybody thinks anyway. The people I care more about what they think are the people that are out trying to change other people's minds, because they got one vote, I got one vote. I'll cancel you out, and we can all skip. I mean, it's I don't know. It's like we're heading for a shit show, and we can't sit. There's absolutely no. There's going to be no winning after that important day in November coming up. There's absolutely. It's like the first time somebody explained it to me, and I found it to be true in retrospect, is there really isn't a winner in a fight. Because one time I won a fight by hitting somebody, and I had my foot planted, and I won. He went down, I didn't. And actually, I was at best 50-50 in altercations. I just wasn't afraid of him. I just, wasn't a real big guy, and they didn't have a whole lot of training, but I wouldn't run. And there's no winners in a fight. So in that fight, I knocked a really much bigger guy down. I couldn't squeeze my hand. I was playing a little guitar then. I couldn't play the guitar. I couldn't hold a pencil and write anything because my hand hurt. So what did I win? I mean, I was in worse shape than before I won.
Yeah.
You don't win. You just lose less. That's all. It's who loses the least is considered the winner.
Same thing with work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. You know, there is no winner. You just lose less. You know, and then you have to quantify loss and degree of loss. You know, because it's always not a numbers game. So, which is why I spend all the time I can away from ongoing news media, the weeds. Guess what's going to happen? Well, what might happen now? It's like, why don't you all figure it out? And I'll check a news feed the next day in about 5 minutes, and I'll have all the information you have probably. I just don't need it hitting me all the time, coming at me. Discussions, endless discussions that have so much. Oh yeah, but what about? You know, what about that? It's like a tennis game, and you're serving or you're trying to bat it back, but there's no introspection going on either way, and what a waste of time. And that gets in the way of me getting other things done. You know, I mean, have I got home growth or patience figured out? No, but it's an active participation, and it takes mind power and making proper decisions and certain research and stuff like that. And if I'm busy going, oh yeah, what about when he did that? Oh, I need to be on Facebook because that's social media that, I don't know, it's pretty easy to use. And I need that to push my agenda. That's right. I got an agenda. I'm real open about it. Other than that, I just take part. I will allow myself to answer on a Yahoo News feed. You can make a comment, and usually it's just like I take a quote from a title or something, a quote, and then I say something about it, and it comes across so-and-so like your comment, you know, on my Facebook thing. I never ever look back to see what anybody thought about what I said. It's therapy for me. How quick can I reply, you know? But I don't know. I just see a lot of it getting in the way is all.
I have a request in to Senator Gopal to come on the podcast.
Yeah, really. I found when he was on with Scott Rutter and Andrea and him and who's the fourth person? Somebody else, 4 people. Yeah, the idea, what can we do, is the question for him, and it bothered me that his answer was, well, you got to within your own district, especially, look for co-sponsorship, you know, of a bill that's not being allowed to have a hearing. I found it disingenuous. There's a roadblock, and he's not dealing with it because he's not able to, but we can. And I guess he doesn't feel the suggestion like, yeah, get an inflatable rat and try to make an impression there first. You know, he wouldn't say something like that. You know, he, you know, and then if you ask, he said, what we're going to do this, what do you think? He'd hedge his bets because it could be recorded. You know, there's a reason
why. And go to council meetings. That's great advice.
There's a reason.
I had a song about weed.
A reason why as many or more Republicans co-sponsor the Senate patient home grow bill, Singleton's bill, than Democrats. So if they have a higher percentage of their meager 15 senators compared to 25 for Democrats. It's because Democrats won't co-sponsor, because Senator Scutari is the one that assures them that they keep their committee assignments, and who gets a committee assignment when somebody shifts and, it's a better committee you'd like to be on. Yeah, you need to be his friend. And if you co-sponsor a bill that he doesn't want heard, that then offers more pressure from other sources on him to have the bill heard. And that's why I don't know why Republican co-sponsors, they don't stick up for it. I never hear one of them asking him and making a public deal about it, him preventing.
Let's see. Where does Trump's vice presidential running mate stand on cannabis? Former President Trump has selected J.D. Vance as his running mate. A choice could have implications for the cannabis policy if the ticket is ultimately elected, given Trump's mixed record and Vance's opposition to certain modest cannabis reform proposals in the Senate. Wow. Vance opposed cannabis, apparently, huh? Wonder what he opposed. He doesn't have an extensive cannabis record, but his limited actions and comments on the issue indicate that he's aligned with Trump on one key issue. He backs the rights of states to set their own cannabis laws. Okay. He's also indicated that he's against incarcerating people for low-level possession. However, he voted against bipartisan banking legislation that passed in committee, and he also argued that states that have enacted legalization should increase enforcement activities, complaining about the smell of cannabis multiple times, and suggested that its use can lead to violence. Hey, we lost Jim.
Jim, real small.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
So, Vance is not really a friend to cannabis, but the thing is about these guys, like Obama, when he became president, he was a liberal from Chicago, but he led as a moderate. So did Bush. I guess Trump kind of did. Did he? Was Trump kind of moderate on a lot of things? He wasn't that crazy, but a little bit. Biden's not liberal. He hated cannabis for years. Yeah, so we're just watching the Republican convention, smoking a big fatty. And I guess that's it for our meeting tonight. We lost 2 board members. I don't know what happened there. Let me fix the audio real quick. And we're going to get out of here. Paco, I'm with you. I'm going to dab right with you. Here we go.
I'm back on the the scene. It's time to get mean. I'm a lean revolution machine. Won't want people stay, they sway. One, 2 day is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly dis, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises over the top. Don't cross the line, and you know it's right. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's go. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's go.
First, you must clean out your dabber.
Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see.
The dabber's dirty.
Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's roll.
I sent the link to the 501c3 chat. So if you all want to join us, come and join us. Talk about some weed. Talk about stuff. It's tough getting a quorum.
Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? 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 Who you wanna roll with?
What the heck? Oh, Jim's back.
Do you have any alcohol?
You know I don't drink.
Is it propyl alcohol?
Yes.
Use it in there. Put it on the end of the tip of the Q-tip. It'll clean it out better. You'll get a fresh.
Boom.
Yeah, but
Boom. Yeah, we never did our moment of silence, so let's do our moment of silence, which means smoke 'em if you got 'em, boys and girls.
oh, Jim's back.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like the that guy Vance is a friend to cannabis. I don't know if you heard, there's a story about him already. Even the Republicans in New Jersey that back it don't really back it. Like the trucker, Ed the trucker.
How long ago was that?
Yep.
His statements. Yeah.
He's only been a senator for 2 years.
No, the vice president.
Yeah, he's only been in the Senate for 2 years. He's brand new. Like Trump got him elected. Well,
So he's going to be vice president?
he was not going to be elected. Trump went down there, did a rally, and got him elected a couple years ago. He's a brand new senator. He was a Marine. He wrote a book.
He didn't even like Trump.
He called Trump the Hitler. He called Trump Hitler. Yeah, some kind of a Hitler.
He called him an idiot.
He called him a bunch of stuff.
He said, I think he's an idiot.
So
All was forgiven.
all's forgiven now.
That tells you something.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'd never seen a Teamster at a Republican convention before. That's never happened.
First time for everything.
Ish. Wow.
I don't think you hear the phrase courage of their convictions very often with many people because you need a weather vane to know which way their wind is blowing. And, you know, you can hate somebody publicly until you can be of some sort of help for them when all is forgiven.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think this ever happened with me. Once I get to that point, I'm saying shit about somebody like that.
Yeah, if I call someone a Hitler,
I can't think of
Mine.
I can't think of doing a complete turnaround and being their sidekick after that. You know.
politics is a funny game.
Well, let's be real about that. End game for any politician. Let's be freely here. End game for any politician is the presidency. So if he gets that literally like handed to him on a pedestal, literally like he's having it right now, I don't care what I said to you before. I'm inclined to change my mind now. Even if I still believe that, I'm inclined to change my mind now because that's a big offer. So I don't know if you were in the position in the moment how you would respond to that. You know what I'm saying? An offer to be the vice president of the United States. Only being 2 years in the Senate?
Mhm.
Yeah, I changed my mind too. Because that's kind of a big jump. So yeah, 360. Let's go.
Well, keep in mind when it's for somebody's vice president who's 78 at the beginning of a term. You know, I've been hearing a lot about, you know, how it gets when you get older. I mean, Sleepy Joe and Forgetful Joe, but there's enough clips on the other side of the fence to make that case. You
Yeah,
know, it's as
absolutely.
well. So being vice president there.
Well, honestly, I really feel like he's doing it because Lefty was saying that he's a patriot. He served in the war and all this. So I figure if you can't beat him, join him and do what you can while you're there.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
look at that.
I agree with that, except for the fact that the person you're joining, if they're ends up doing great damage, you've been culpable in assisting them. You know, so it's sort of like it's a
Yeah,
real
catch
double-edged
22.
sword. Hey, listen, if somebody could offer me, yeah, if you do this, we'll be able to get home girl for patients this year. Yeah, I'd be a whore.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like,
I would.
okay,
I'd be shameless.
let me switch this up a little
What could
bit.
you do for homegrown?
Well, I would because if it meant that, it doesn't make me any better. It just means I have maybe in some people's minds it would be a good reason.
I'm with you, Jim. I would do anything for homegrown.
Well,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
whoever's listening, I would do anything.
Mm.
Just so you hear. Slide into my DMs.
Oh yeah, it's sort of like I'd do anything. It's just it would have to come with a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah. See, that's why I draw the line.
Yeah, and then picture Norm Macdonald and examples he would give, and
I don't know nobody about what just happened. Come on now, tell me what you want me to know.
and I can work with people who have extremely different views than mine if we don't talk about our differences. You know, if it's to get things done, a quid pro quo of some sort. You know. Whatever, but I'm not in that position. Hey, I ran to be a state senator and I got 5% of the vote.
It's pretty good.
And I do know that that would have been a cluster shuck.
I'd have voted for you.
Well, I did get votes, and I got votes because it's like if I'm running as an independent and I don't always agree with Democrats and I don't always agree with Republicans, my decisions would have to be made through information I would get from both sides of the fence within my own office. So I'd have to have a Democrat and Republican both working for me that could coexist in the same office. And, I'd call them in. It'd be like Judge Jim. You'd present your case, the other present your case, and then I'd make a decision. But I would have to do the work. I ran on platform when I talk to editors of the editorial review board of the Asbury Press and the Ocean County Observer and somebody else. I'd say if a Republican says, I like the Republican idea, what does that tell you? If a Democrat says, I'm going to go for a Democrat's idea, it's you're listening to bias from either side, and you know it and they know it, and that's just the way it is. But if you have an independent, you know, he's going to have to do the work. You know, he wouldn't have a team to join. He'd have to pick the best of either team in each situation. Plus, it's very nice knowing you're not going to get elected. I had to actually, you know, I said, but what if you were, Jim? No, I'm not going to be. But what if you were elected? It's always an odd interview, you know. And I can go, well, if one was abducted by an alien and the other ran away with his mistress and there was nobody else, yeah, I would. I'd be the guy. Which, by the way, next June is only 11 months away. And, you know, there's got to be like somebody that could run for whatever office they want to run for, Assembly or Senate, the way I did, just to, you get to make statements and you get to, you know, your opinion gets heard. And it's fun. So we need to find somebody that would do that. Ken ran for United States Senate. He had to get more signatures than I did. But for 100 signatures on a petition, well, 100 valid, you want to get more. Yeah. All sorts of groups ask you. They send you the Vote Smart stuff, you know. And
You gonna sit down. I can't take it. This guy sit down. This first. That is a complete first for me.
He's a big boy. Who is that?
I don't know.
What's his name? Give me the bottom third. Lower third. Lower third. I feel like I'm on the switching board. Lower third. I'm pulling out lower third. Didn't show it.
Can you please get today?
I don't have a clue.
What's that? Lower left hand? It's lower left hand?
There's a lower. There's a
Upper.
side third.
Side?
Side third with a big side. Got a dammer. Oh my goodness. They put a dog on stage.
You one too. You know what they're doing. I bet you if you turn it up, they're cheering for the
He's
little
putting him on the chair. Hey, up.
I bet you.
Okay, the
If
dog
you turn it up, they're cheering for the little fat fucker.
The dog is on the chair. Look at that little cute dog.
The dog's a Republican.
That's a Republican dog if I've ever seen one.
Yes, it is.
You could tell.
He's
That's-
healthy.
You can tell. I can't tell.
Big fat dog.
That's a Republican dog.
Governor Jim Justice, U.S. Senate candidate, West Virginia. Wait,
West Virginia.
is he the governor or is he a Senate candidate?
He's the governor of West Virginia,
And
also
the
Senate candidate.
He hasn't missed many meals. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. saying.
None. He's even went and found some.
I'm not fat shaming because I'm fat too.
Hey,
But damn.
he even went and found some. I know I'm a jerk. I'll be all right.
We'll get over it.
I'm over it. How about you?
I know I'm an asshole, but I'm over it. How about
I'm
you?
over it. How about you?
I've dealt with it.
I come to terms.
Got the terms with it.
No longer stop trying. I just let it be.
Just leave it alone. It is what it is.
My climate dictates on how you come with me.
Okay, this is a nice fat monster joint of black garlic burger.
I'm bagger. I'm bagger. I'm bagger. I'm bagger. I'm bagger.
I'm gonna play something for you guys. You're gonna love it. You're gonna thank me.
I'm bagger.
Oh, thank you now then. Thank you ahead of time. I appreciate it.
For the I'm bagger.
Oh, I just got your message 16 minutes ago. Oh, you're joining from your phone now? Okay.
No, no, the power was knocked out. The computer power, the house had power. The computer went off, and Kathy was on her phone doing something, and she had problems on it then. And
You don't have battery
no, I don't.
battery backups on your computer?
I don't have Chrome or something. I went to join. I went to Facebook and
It crashed.
StreamYard, clicked on that, but it doesn't have Chrome. And then when it comes to, we'll just install it and do that. I'm not your guy.
It's
Where
actually
I
easy.
trade services.
I get it.
I am that guy. Trying to think of what it was old people didn't or couldn't do when I was young. Shit, they could do everything I could do. I just fell behind the curve.
Yeah, right. That was a time when we were still learning from adults. And now adults gotta learn from the kids.
Yeah, it's really kind of interesting, It's the one thing out of all the, I don't know if they're biblical prophecies or just religious prophecy sayings and all that, but the meek shall inherit the earth.
Jesus.
I can see that happening, Yeah, you freak, nothing but a bunch of nerds. Yeah, and they got your bank account now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who's inheriting the earth, the one that can control what we're doing right now,
You can't tell them apart anymore. Like
Can't.
you can't.
It is really funny though. I got a brother 18 years younger, and he's got kids that are 11 and 13. And even 2 years ago, either one could do what I needed done on my phone.
Yeah.
They could just take it, and it's fun because they have that level of adult nature where they get respected and treated like adults because they can do things adults can't, which is technological stuff they've had literally their entire life. It's I don't know, it's something like if you grow up, you learn the language, and you may only be 3, but you're speaking fluent wherever you live, and I couldn't get that way now with 3 solid years of nothing but trying to. So when you're born into the technological universe, and you have a leg up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, young people's opinions count more now than they did earlier, and a lot of the best of advocacy now is going to be coming from young people that can influence. There's influencers.
Yeah.
Come on here, kid. What was an influencer?
Yeah, come here. Endorse our stuff. You have a lot of viewers.
What's your job? Oh, I'm an influencer. I tell people what to think.
No, that's not just what it is. Like
no. You get that. You influence them to
some
think
brand,
something.
and they literally just wear their clothing or present their product and stuff like that, and they get paid for it only because they have a certain amount of viewers on their platform.
I'm just jealous that wasn't available for me because pretty much everybody has a strong suit, and now when you connect, even if it's a really 1 in 100 people strong suit thing, in other words, or right in your mold, you don't have to know 500 people to find 5 people blend with you. But now you can reach millions of people. I mean, you just couldn't. Her phone chains in,
Yeah.
A phone chain. Yeah, it's like a bucket brigade. You show up. Oh no, we got to get the information out. And I get a call now. I got 10 people to call.
Is that Lawrence Taylor?
Yes.
That's not. Jesus Christ. I ain't following nothing that man had said. He a nut. I'm a black man. I'll say it out loud. LT is a nut.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yes, it is.
Can I play something for you guys? I want you to enjoy this with me. This is the best thing you'll ever hear. I thought mine was good.
That's opinionated, but that's. Oh, when she's saying drunk, she apologized for that too, and she's gonna go to rehab.
Just drove her to rehab.
Oh,
She go to rehab. Like she said, she apologized for it publicly and said she's going to rehab.
she's drunk. She said she was drunk.
Yeah, she was drunk off her.
Ouch.
You know, what I really liked.
Her PR team sucks. I was like, nah, you can't go out there and shot. Woo! I didn't listen to it. I didn't want to do it to my ears.
Yeah.
No, I don't want. You know,
I'm glad she remembered the words.
she remembered the words.
I'll commend her for that. She remembered the words. Most people that junk won't even remember the words. So she's a
Well,
true
she
artist.
probably was talking about how much the banner weighed, like how many pounds, and it sounded like wave. You know, maybe she got that word wrong.
That sounded good to her. Her ears is doing the same, but that sounded good to her.
That's the sound of a person rolling around on the ground in my mind. You know.
What's that? What's that?
Brother,
What's that, brother?
what's that?
What's the ew?
What's that, brother?
It was the national anthem.
Did you see?
What's the ew?
I knew I could catch. I'm wondering how the baseball players were keeping a straight face, and so somebody else was too. I guess whatever news show, and Alex Bohm from the Phillies.
What's the ew?
He couldn't not smile. He had to put his head down a little bit like this, and then he kind of looked up at somebody, like trying not to smile. And I thought by and large they did good. You know, was there nobody drunk enough to yell out, "Holy fuck," you know, or something really loud?
Out of respect for what it was, I don't think they would have did that. People
No, yeah, not even a drunk person. You're right.
it was a home run. It was a home run derby. They was like, nah.
Yeah.
But-
I went to a home run derby. I'm the only person I know that's ever been to one. It was in Philadelphia, 1996 or I
Wow.
think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, went to the home run derby. It was really, really cool. And they had a celebrity softball game, which you don't generally get to see, I guess. And Bill Cosby was the coach of one of the softball teams. And I was angry at him because I couldn't watch the Little Rascal reruns anymore because he objected how Buckwheat was portrayed and Steiny, both of them. And while I think, you know, I mean, I kind of see his point, but in the times it wasn't, you know.
Watch that show. What in the hell?
It was. I looked at like when I was a kid watching. Of course, that was long before. That was years before me. I thought it was just like my neighborhood. There's people of different skin color hanging around in the same group of kids playing around. It was like, so that was a normal to me, like representation.
Well, how many of them kids act like Stymie?
What's that?
Stymie and Buckwheat.
Stein, Buckwheat, and Farina.
Yeah, like
Farina.
how many of those kids act like them? Oh, dang. What?
Okay, yeah, that was
What?
that was Stymie. Oh, Tay.
Like, come on. What?
That was Buckwheat.
That was Buckwheat, yeah, but like it was okay. Who was the smart white kid? Who was the not little dumb little? They were all deficient in so many ways that, you know.
Darla?
Well, yeah, and then that's sexist. You would have to have a little girl be the normal one because little boys wouldn't be. So, you know, I object as a man. You know,
There was a lot of
yeah. But anyway, Bill Cosby bought the rights to the Little Rascals with the purpose of them not being shown anymore. And I felt deprived because it was just such a childhood. You know, it was like part of my childhood. I would try to build a little go-kart because I had two axles of baby carriage wheels. And I decided if I got all this wooden shit together, I could maybe build a little go-kart. Yeah, because they would do really cool stuff too. You know. Anyway, Bill Cosby was the coach, and I was able to get close enough because you could walk down there. It's not like a ball game where they don't let you walk all the way down the steps like you got a front row seat, you know, and turn around. And
What?
I said, "Hey, Cos," and when he looked, I told him he is doing OT.
Yeah. Not right now. In a second.
Yeah, Mark McGuire won the home run contest. Steroids plus, man, he was big. It was fun. There was beer involved. And there was taking a nap in the parking lot before leaving involved. Yeah, it's just being smart. Yeah. I remember specifically, yeah. Yeah, whatever. No ball games yet this year.
Hey, Hammer. I thought it was a cat and heat. In heat.
Ah,
I thought it was a cat in heat.
That's hilarious.
yeah, it was
Terrible.
and you know, it's the national anthem. It's like halfway through it, I start to realize, oh crap, there's that high note everybody has trouble with. What's she gonna do? The land of the free. That note is up there.
Yeah.
Hey, she killed it though, didn't she?
Yeah. She
yeah,
in the true sense of the word.
yeah. The old time normal sense of the word, you know.
He killed it dead.
Yeah, that was filthy.
I ain't never heard one worse.
That was disgusting.
Not even mine. You sat here for mine. Mine
now-
was not that bad, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, what?
Mine was worse. Mine was worse than hers.
No, listen.
Do that. I wouldn't sit through twice. That was hard.
Yeah, mine was hard.
I'm
surprised you stayed.
I had to close my ears.
Okay, listen. If somebody does something and you say they killed it, does that mean they did good or they did bad?
It depends.
That's good. No, it's good.
It's good now. I mean, if somebody killed it,
If you say,
and when you're at a baseball
Good
game,
job.
if a guy throws a filthy pitch, is a really good pitch.
Okay.
A nasty pitch,
Nasty
a
is
really good pitch. Everything has opposite meanings. That
Yeah.
was a dirty pitch, man.
I don't like how goat has changed. The word goat. The goat used to be you were the goat, you were the bad, you screwed up. You were the Bill Buckner of the.
Yeah. Well,
Now it's greatest of all time. It
it's an
changed.
acronym. Yeah.
When did that change?
when we started using,
Well, it added.
that's when it changed.
Yeah.
When they started using acronyms, GROAT, greatest of all time.
But it used to be you were the goat, you were the,
Game over.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, because back in the day, we would give things meaning. We would give phrases meaning.
yeah.
Now it's an acronym
Yeah.
for a phrase.
This
It's an acronym for a phrase.
G period O period.
And that's when it all changed. When we started using acronyms for things. Now everything's an acronym. Whoa, what happened to you, buddy? That's all I got to say.
I like, yeah.
He a true patriot. He got on blue and red. But his tie is red.
Yeah. He's a goat. He's, OG.
Oh, gee, original gangster.
Yeah.
That would be a fun call normally, but not today.
This is good.
Oh yeah.
Garlic bagger.
The black garlic bird.
A black garlic. Not white.
Not
Not
the
purple. Not orange. Black. Garlic bagger. Garlic bagger. What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, What's that, brother?
Brother,
That's one of my favorite samples.
What's that?
I need to cut that up. Oh, it's smoke 'em if you got 'em time. We're already smoking.
I'm surprised you're not finding yourself a small version of it. You know, on having been in the studio in MMR when Cheech and Chong were there, I got to see the setup, and Steve has like a mixing board looking thing with all the sound effects on it. You know, and he can just reach up and get a sound effect. And what I'm saying is, you should
board? The whole board dedicated to that?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, it's like what I'm looking at here, only way more knobs on and stuff. Maybe could get a real good. I was impressed with it though. I was just saying, I don't think you should get one because
I have one. Actually, we have to do the floppy to USB. And it's at the studio?
You can do that too. You have all that.
I want to do it here. I want to either get. I thought you had one. You said you had one. Put it up right here. I got an S01. Me and Magic were talking about it. I got an S1. He was like, "Oh, you have the original." So all you got to do is fix that. You got a sampler because it's like got like 12 or buttons right there.
Mm-hmm.
You can sample right there. You can. It's amazing.
The old school stuff still works.
Old
If you want to go analog. Other than that, your computer can do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's true too. That's true.
Really quick.
I was listening to a MMR broadcast because I listened to them all the time after. It was kind of fun putting people with the voices and all. And it was a time Randall Cunningham was doing Amco commercial, AA beep beep MCO, you know.
Yeah.
And
that's a Philly thing because I didn't see those up here.
Yeah, So what happened was Steve had the two beeps on his soundboard. I guess, you know, he could probably import stuff at will or however he does it. And then it became a game with them during the show and it reminded me of something you were doing this week. His hand was never that far away because somebody would be saying something, talking about anything, Randall Cunningham, and they just put his name in, and he beep beep. He was always ready.
Oh, look.
The fuck?
It went limp.
Brother,
It's
what's that? What you do to the blunt, brother? What did you do to the blunt, brother?
Ew.
Brother,
The blunt went limp. Ew.
Brother, what's
what
that?
Up, what up, brother? How you been?
What's that, brother?
Brother, ew.
all day with that, right?
Nothing. NJ Medman. What up, guy?
Madman. Yo. Oh, Roseanne's was the worst. Yeah, because she spit and she grabbed her crotch. I liked hers.
I love it.
Let's listen to hers.
I love it.
Let's listen to hers.
Oh God.
Do it again, Roseanne. Roseanne in her old age didn't give a flying F.
Well,
He
to
was
be fair, put them both up and then do like the same phrase from one and, you know, beginning of the song. I'll say, "Can you see?" and then do both of them back and forth. You know?
Oh, hell no. That sounds completely annoying. That sounds completely annoying.
It's meant to annoy me.
I really don't know how people were just like smiling and you know, laughing. I mean, it was so.
Oh no, that was
so bad. These guys could all play poker. These ball players, because they stood there, most of them with totally straight faces. The national anthem, they didn't break character at all, or they're tone deaf.
Some of them did.
Oh yeah, Alex Bone, the Philly guy, he did, and he tried not to. You know.
Yeah, hard. He tried hard.
Yeah.
He was trying hard.
Yeah, you know. But then I like when he put his head down, and then he kind of looked up sideways, not back up. At somebody maybe next to maybe next to him, and he looked up with that one eyebrow up like, am I hearing this right?
He's like, you gotta be kidding.
Yeah, but then how much can you laugh if it's like she was drinking and now she needs help? Should have stuck to pot.
I've never seen the world in such disarray my entire life.
Let's see. I'm gonna have to share this. I want you to see it too.
At least maybe I didn't pay it any attention until now. I'll say that.
All right, what do we got here?
Ed, Hong Kong.
Oh wow. Oh wow, it's Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Okay. Hold on.
Share screen. There we go. Share. Okay, this should be interesting.
Tell me when I should start. Right now? I'll say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed
Hey,
as the
Pasquale.
twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
Hold
fight
on.
Who
No, this
o'er
doesn't
the
matter.
ramparts we watched were
I
so
see it.
gallantly streaming.
Oh, here we go. Can you see it now? Ooh. 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 Here we go.
Here it comes.
Here comes Haktui. This is the original Haktui.
You came close.
This
You
is
came
the
close.
original Haktui. Haktui.
We love you, Roseanne.
Wow. Haktui.
Well, you know, it's sort of like she was just making fun back at them.
Yeah?
So mine was better than hers.
I don't think so.
Come on. I broke the world record, bro.
Yeah, for the worst one.
I broke the world record for 19 minutes. I did the national anthem.
For the worst one.
19. It doesn't matter. I broke the record for
Okay,
the
you got
national.
both. You got both.
Explain when and where. A little background.
Both.
Very little background.
I put the national anthem up. It was on a Thursday, so I sang the national anthem on July 4th
In
with
front of who?
19
And
minutes.
where? Out in the woods?
on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, on
Oh.
YouTube.
Oh, really?
For 19 minutes.
For 19 minutes, I sang it.
How did you sing it really slow? Or
No, he accentuated every single word. Oh,
Oh,
I sat through the whole thing. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, it was after like 20. It was great.
Well, you did it to be bad on purpose, and that was probably because if you did the best you could, it'd be bad. But this way, you feel, you know, less insulted, more deserving of negative accolades.
So it was fun when I got to the bombs bursting in there.
You know,
I think he singed it into my memory.
Yeah, you sat here through the whole thing. I was amazed.
every day in high school, we started our day with standing and listening to the national anthem.
Yes.
Every day I started by gently humming the bass part, the sousaphone part in a marching band, because I just love that line. So I got really good at it. I mean, I can, you know, do the bass part, but now I almost can't not do it, you know. No, I'm not going to do it either.
Did it rain?
I just could if I wanted to. All Are we in a moment of silence? I don't want to talk if we are.
I'm trying to find the stick so I can get it.
Had my first medicated cookie in a while. I gave up. I was just taking like about a fingerful's worth of what makes the cookie good and just do that, and I wouldn't need a cookie. And it would always be like potluck. Sometimes it'd be a little more, a little less. It's a fingerful. So I just had a cookie. And yeah, how many times I like oatmeal raisin, but I had to chew so much cookie where the entire time I think I could have just taken a fingerful and done that. I'm going back to the tip of my finger. Kathy can have all the cookies now. Shortcut.
Yes, sir. You didn't get your.
Well, Sue, how are you doing?
Hi, Jim. Jim, I'm waiting to hear more from you.
What's that?
I said I thought I sent you a message, didn't I?
Yeah, I responded.
Okay. You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I responded.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see it for. It was like yesterday.
Okay.
I'm getting my self back on a more normal track and schedule after some considerations in Thomas River that really had a lot of my mindset and time, and everything's resolved satisfactorily.
Hey, did you hear about that baby in Tom's River?
What's that?
Did you hear
Sorry?
about that baby that got left in a car in Tom's River?
No, really? No.
Yeah, a newborn. A couple left their baby in the car yesterday for 2 hours. I don't know who found the baby, but of course, the baby was dead.
Yeah. Wow.
I know.
Well, now I'm bummed. Well.
Yep.
That's why. Oh yeah. When I said in my response, I explained that everything worked out to my satisfaction. You know, because sometimes things will knock somebody off track. Okay, now I'm back. I'm back on where are we? You know, when you get to that part, it's kind of nice if there's no baggage coming with it. That's why, you know, it's like, yes, a success. All right, and now, you know, back to it. And so I'm keeping everything on the DL here, so I can't tell you more about it right now.
Okay. We'll talk.
Yeah.
So this is a board meeting. I did make an announcement that I bought a rat.
Yeah, I asked you if it was the Union rat, and you told me yes.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, good. It's the Union rat. It's a 10-footer. I had the option of a 13, 16, or a 20-footer, but a 10-footer. 10-footer is good enough.
10-foot is good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Somebody's not going to look at it and go, "This must not be important." They got the little one. You know,
it's still huge.
And you're not having a parade, so.
Yeah, fill it with helium. Ooh.
Oh, that means you're going to be singing.
He's falsetto
singing again.
I could fill it with helium and tie it to my wheelchair and go up and down the sidewalk and keep it moving.
And you could sing the national anthem and take a big breath before the word "free." The land of the free. You could hit it.
Well, see, that's what I listened to when you did the Star Spangled Banner, and you did it with that machine you have, whatever you have, the real squeaky one.
I don't remember. The other day?
Yeah, the other day.
That was just me making noise.
Oh, okay.
I was singing it, but I was holding every note. I was just,
You were doing that without any help?
Yeah, like when the word "the" wasn't the word. Well, it was the word "the," but it was. And when you speed it up, I sped it up, and it sounds almost like the national anthem. It sounds pretty good when you speed it up. It's a little weird.
That's what I heard.
You heard the speed? Oh, you speed? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You
Yeah.
heard the sped up version.
Yes, it was crazy. I had to go back and look at it again because I was like, I didn't really see that.
What was that?
That was pretty funny.
Oh, look, it's Drew. Drew's on the what's his name? Senator Drew. The guy who was a Democrat, he became a Republican in New Jersey.
Yep.
That guy. He's up there now. With the yellow tie. Jeff Van Drew, that's right. He's New Jersey rep from District 2.
Did you see the verdict for Menendez?
Yeah.
16 guilty.
About time.
He's in big trouble.
It's about time.
Yeah, it's. I don't feel any real
Remorse?
joy. I just no. I'm trying to be polite. It's like, yeah, you got what you deserve. Yeah, that's the ticket. You know, that's.
But you said it anyway.
Yes. Well, no, that's what other people are saying.
Uh-huh.
Some people are saying, yeah, I like that. I don't know if Tim Russell always used to do that. You know, it bothered me when he died because I just loved the way he would do it. And he was good at it. He would say something to the effect of, it's been said in the major newspapers that some think you are a buffoon. How would you respond? You know, and he'd make a statement and say, how would you respond? You know, and I like that style, you know, because nobody ever asked who, when, where, or why, you know. I mean, come on, every time, and I'm just using Donald Trump as an example, but everybody seems to do it. It's like, yeah, a lady walked up to me and said, no, she didn't. Nobody ever walks up to you. Nobody gets to walk up to you. It's pretend, you know. And she said, sir. It's just the way it's done. That's sort of the same thing.
Yeah. Somebody did like a little skit on LinkedIn the other day that I saw, and it was the same thing. He was like telling you, this is like, if somebody says this to you, this is how you respond. You say, how would you like me to respond to that? You know, he was giving like, you know, a couple of different examples of like, so I tried it. And somebody told me to go fuck myself because I said that, you know, like, why don't you go?
But what is it? I don't think I heard everything.
Like, you know, if somebody says
The response, yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
your response, rather than coming back at them, is like that you say back to them, well, how would you like me to respond to that?
Ooh,
So I tried it. I tried saying it.
I like that.
Yeah, I did too. And I thought that's pretty cool, rather than, you know, my little catchy kind of, you know, response. But it wasn't taken very well. So now I went back to I'll pray for you. People don't know what to say to you when you say that.
Was there any body language involved, making a statement kind of like, how would you like me to respond by that? You know, I think that can sometimes
that helps
work and sometimes not, you know. Or was it more actually quizzical, like, how would you like me to respond
to a George
Carlin? You know, almost like you're a therapist or something, you know. That would almost be what one would do, I imagine.
You would be a very good George Carlin, I think.
Oh,
you could do him.
Yeah, I think people that I like, I emulate sometimes without meaning to. I've been told.
Your George Carlin comes in.
Yeah, well, yeah. When I have that's more like the edible. Everything stays on track, and I get a lot of that cannabis pothead thing going. But if it's all smoking, and you get a lot foggier quickly. And what I loved about George Carlin, that man could run a story and hit all the notes and all the cadences and the 7 dirty words, and he never hesitated, you know. But
That's
so,
awesome.
but I can do that a lot better with quality edible, and I did a damn fine job on that cookie I just had. You know, I
What
don't
kind
think
of cookie was it?
oatmeal raisins, and
Oh,
you know,
I like oatmeal.
yeah,
I like
it's
oatmeal raisin cookies.
yeah, they're good, and you know, keep them frozen, and then 10 seconds in a microwave before eating them, and a minute later they're soft. They come out just as hard as they
Baked, yeah.
went in,
I
but
tell you, there's nothing worse than you're expecting a chocolate chip cookie and you bite into an oatmeal raisin cookie. There's nothing worse than that.
oh, there's plenty of things worse than that. That's an upgrade.
No, nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
Okay, next.
There is stuff worse than that. Listen, early memory of mine is
Wait, I've got to move out of this room.
first taste of an onion was I'd never seen one. I had to be like 4 or something. It was startling, you know. And Dad must have been doing something, cutting up an onion, and I didn't know what the hell it was. And I said, "Could I have a bite?"
Mm-hmm.
Kind of father had said, "Yeah, sure, here." I mean, it had the outer layer. He was ready to start dicing it, I guess. So I took a bite, expecting something like an apple or a pear or all the things I've been in, you know. And it was a freaking onion. Who does that to their little kid, you know? So anyway, yeah, biting into an onion, thinking it might be like an apple, that's worse than the chocolate chip cookie you think you're going to have, and you get oatmeal raisin. Oh yeah, and also thinking at Thanksgiving, really little, you know, you go to grandma's house and go, look, she's got a chocolate a chocolate turkey, you know, a little chocolate
The little
turkey.
turkeys, yeah.
Yeah. And so I took a bite, but see, it's a candle. You know, you don't get chocolate at Thanksgiving.
Man.
Again, that was worse
That's
than
cool.
expecting a chocolate chip cookie and getting a raisin in an oatmeal. That was worse.
That's
And
pretty
plus,
bad.
but it's embarrassing because it doesn't matter how little a kid you are, you know what being laughed at feels like. You know, I mean, you know where you belong on that totem pole. You know, I don't know why do adults think you can laugh like that in front of kids and they don't get it? You know, like, oh, they're little, we get to laugh at them out loud and point and stuff. You know? No.
I know.
Yeah, look, 67 years later, 68, here I am still scarred.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
We'll have to put that in the memoir.
Yeah. Well, the real one is people have a hard time when understanding I was born and you know I was very shy. I was painfully shy.
Where?
Yeah, but I overcame it on a moment by moment basis the best I could. I didn't like, you know, I was a great little baseball player from forever. You know, I mean, I just had like a knack. So that's where I would be social, doing stuff like that. And then in second grade, Mrs. Lacey is doing like, you know, how much is 4 plus 6 and how much is 5 minus 3, and we're in second grade. And she says, how much is 7 plus 4? And nobody answered. Nobody's hand went up. And mine shot up before I could stop it. And I could almost feel my blood going. See, what happened
It's like the milkman story that you told.
Yeah, but listen, I got a brother who's a year older than me, and to Dad, we were 2 blackjack players, but we had to learn math. so like, you know, I'd be how do you know what I had? And he says, I can see it counting. You know, I'd say I got a 6 and a 4, so I'd go 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, and I mean. So I I got really good at numbers, and 7-4 is 11. This is a blackjack dream, man. You're going to win on like 10 jack, queen, and king. You're going to get 21. You know, and if you get an ace, well, you know, now it's bad. It's a 12, but anyways, how much 7-4? And nobody, and I went like that, and she went, oh, I could see how happy she was, and I said, 11, hit me. It's what I would say, and if I got 11, hit me. You know, I want another card. So when I answered 11, hit me, I realized, oh Jesus, what did I just do? I'm not playing blackjack. That's the same. You know, I was confused, and she said, oh, that's the right answer. I would never hit you if it wasn't. And
Aw.
yeah, and that was it. I didn't explain what happened. I didn't explain. My dad likes baseball and blackjack. I'm a great little baseball player, and I'm pretty good at math up to 21. Beyond that, not so great, maybe. But anyway, Miss Lacey played bridge with my mom and other women, two sets of 4 women. And so my second grade teacher came over to play bridge in the house where I am. You know, when you're second grade, your teacher, it's a whole different worlds are colliding, and I'm safe up in bed, and I hear raucous laughter. I hear Mom say, Jimmy, come on downstairs. Oh God, I had to come down, and then everybody's laughing because like Mrs. Lacey just told that whole story, and Mom knew nothing about it, and then Mom explained why I said hit me. Oh, that's Ben. He's always playing blackjack with the kids, and he hit me when you want another card. That embarrassment stayed around forever. I was shy. So
when did you become unshy?
when I became an activist, when I became an advocate.
So what? Yeah, but
I mean, no, seriously,
that break you.
I've never had a large group of friends. I'm fine with my friends and people. I mean,
well, yeah, I get that.
But still, I mean, it's taken stuff like living in Oklahoma where people say hello, walking by each other, and when you're on a 2-lane road and there's not a lot of cars, I found out the guy. I thought he's doing this, and I thought, oh, speed trap. Thanks.
He was waving?
Yeah. Car behind, same thing, about a mile or 2 later. And you can go from here to forever and see nobody in a lot of Oklahoma roads.
Yeah.
And then finally I thought, listen, I've come like 12 more miles. You know, are they waving? So I have my hand out on my mirror, like kind of like right, you know. And I went like this as we came. I went like that. The guy gave me a big old hello back. He was ready for me. And it was like, oh, crap. We're waving at each other. Yeah. And, you know, yes or no's or all that, you know. They'll be rude as they want with people our own age doing other stuff. But they're very, very polite people. I wasn't used to that. You know,
well, the South is like that, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is. And having, well, only spent 1 year at North Carolina State, but I found out that, yeah, they're polite, but they also like to make fun of Yankees.
Oh, yeah, they don't like us.
Yeah, but even at college, it was like, it was fraternal.
They do that bless your heart stuff.
It was fraternal, you know. I mean, it was, and which meant we're allowed to give back, you know. And
so, did you make fun of them?
Not so much, because it's an in-state school. 9 out of 10 people are from North Carolina, so they also like drinking and smoking. And 1 in 10 times somebody might take something bad. I didn't risk it. I was shy. I told you that. You know, not too shy to. Our thing was, I think the most fun I had at school was that we had a really good cross country team, a national. This is like where people go on to be like world class athletes and college, and I'm just like a little pipsqueak, But we like to get high in the woods, and they ran track through the woods, and we'd get to where and there's trees you could freaking hide behind in the woods, and barely a trail. I mean, it's marked a little bit so they know which is the trail they're supposed to be on, which I found that impressive.
Damn, it's lightning out.
But you can hide behind a tree, and when somebody runs by, jump out and go, or whatever. And they're not expecting it. They're in their zone. They're just running. If they got a little plan, and all of a sudden somebody jumps out and does that, you can almost knock them down, but they can't stop.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the clock, man. They can't. They got to get up, and the first thing got to do after you do that is they got to leave as quick as they can. So,
to catch up with everybody.
Yeah. Now at first there's a pack, but there's a couple of stragglers, and that's where you can get like 2 or 3 in a row if you don't like scream real loud, just enough to surprise them. Almost like, shh, one more coming. It was entertaining.
Lefty, were you shy when you were little?
Yeah, I still am.
Oh yeah.
No, seriously, I'm
really
literally
really,
just got on the edge of my seat. I wanted to know if I think comedians a lot of times are shy, like Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, I'm an introvert by nature. I'm an introvert.
You are?
Yeah, by nature, normally, yeah, but
you're an only child, though, right?
Yeah. So I could spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours alone and be fine with it. But becoming an activist, yeah, that changes. Public speaking and all that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with public speaking.
Well, my is, I guess.
And where are you in the birth order, Jim?
What's that?
Where are you in your birth order of family?
Middle child.
You're
middle of 3.
You got middle child syndrome. Okay.
Of 3. Oh, it's the perfect position. And it's funny because I got to go elbows up on the bar at Cleese with Dad. After being, on visitation day, we started having Sundays visitation day after 4th grade because Dad and Dad different directions. But we would usually go down to the bar and have all the peanuts we could eat and Coca-Cola and play pool. In the little shuffleboard game, and there's a milk crate. You can stand on that. So it was nice all those years later when it wasn't a visitation thing, and he'd come to the beach and he'd go to his favorite old bar, Cleese, and we'd go like that, and we'd talk, and I would ask him these things, and he described the family plan. Rick was planned. He goes, yeah, Rick was planned. You were company for Rick, and Tom was what the fuck. So it's funny. My younger brother Tom, who's my younger brother at 69, every now and he's like, yeah, and I was born a what the fuck, because that's officially what happened.
Yes, yeah.
And it's not swearing when you say it out of context, in context like that.
So what are there 3 kids in your family?
No, then Mom got remarried, and she had a younger brother, Kevin. He's 18 years younger than me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't think I've ever used, when talking about him, the phrase half brother. I actually don't understand that. I mean,
he's your brother.
Yeah, it's there's no phrase for that. You hear the phrase, that's my brother from another mother. Yeah, that's my brother from another father. It doesn't rhyme.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't.
Yeah. So anyway, that put me puts me in a position. The way I introduce George to people now is, as my stepdad George, the man that taught me how to drive. That gives him credit for doing the big father thing of, here's what it's like to change spark plugs, stuff like that.
Did you like him?
No, I did. But then he was very much against marijuana. because he had a brother who I guess was like schizophrenic, and his story was that he did some acid, and that's what happened. And then he believed wholly in the gateway theory that it all started with marijuana.
Oh, okay.
So the first time, I don't know why anybody would be in my car finding my bag under my seat, but he did. And that started yeah, we kept our own way.
Mm-hmm.
After that, and at times, yeah, we didn't get along good, and we didn't get along good the whole time I lived there with Cheryl. But it was that didn't come down to downstairs our part of the house. So. But then over the last 20 years, um, he found out I was right, and he was one of those people that, yeah, likes to have beer, and he grabbed me by the shoulders one time and said, "You were right. You were right all along." And okay, man, that's rare, and that was good. And one of the nicest things when my mom passed on, it's about 5 years ago. He had told me, "Hey, listen, you should have mom's car." And I'm like, "Yeah, I could use a car. That's cool." So then mom told me about it, and this is like probably a couple of weeks before she died. And it was funny because she liked to pull me in close. She'd be in bed in hospice, and she said, "Like the car, that was George's idea."
Oh, she wanted you to like him.
Yeah. So yeah, she got that sense at the end. Everything was pretty good with the other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, all the stuff Cheryl and I did from our home base, we didn't get to talk about it very much afterwards. I mean, didn't become a topic of conversation. We got arrested in Washington and came back. He said, "How was your trip?" We took a couple of days to go to D.C. It's a great place to go, right? I said, "Well, here, look, this is page 6 of the USA Today." Yeah, there we are. We got arrested. So we had to go down and do the whole thing without talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of odd, but I kind of like stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I had 6 copies by the time I got home, and I got it at 3 different stops along the way, only because it was so much fun going in, getting the USA Today, and getting up and going, "Hey, say, do you get it free if you're on page 6 or whatever?" And I opened it up, and you could clearly see it was me. And because the picture was getting arrested or whatever. I forget what picture to use. And it's just fun doing because it is you. No, you gotta pay. No, I'm messing with you. And but of course, it didn't end there. That's where it began, And then Cheryl's parents were down from Oklahoma one time, and it was weird because we'd just been on Adelphia cable for something, because we were like the story,
Mm-hmm.
And I was going out, and there was Leroy and Johnny, her parents, showing George and Mom how they could transfer what they had on the tape, the VHS tape. We taped the thing, and that he could get it onto his. He had like a camera or something. He could then record it, and it was like they were going through all this like real excited about. Yet we didn't talk about what it was they were recording. Her parents
didn't know.
talk. No, her parents didn't say, "Hey, listen, oh, I saw that. Cheryl, oh, you look great. Or Jim, way to go. It was like we didn't talk about it, but they were all together excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? You know, I never figured that back. I mean, it couldn't have been. Well, we don't want to say we were that wrong, but hey, we were. Shh, don't let Jim know we know. What? I don't know. It's odd, you know. Grow up in a house where you don't talk about such things. I never really thought of it like that. It seems strange to me. You know, kind of hard to do. It's like, oh yeah, Mom, somebody's coming over from Newsweek. They need to take some pictures because they want to put Cheryl's picture on the cover. This is after the Institute of Medicine did their findings in '99, and we were there. And yeah, we you know, got pictures taken there, and I got to speak there, so we talked with people afterwards. And what happened was, though, by the time they did this weird kind of photography too, where you get in a dark room, they got a flashlight, it's like strobing the light like this, like coloring, and it's a time lapse. What could that look like? But what happened is, when they found out what the cover art was going to be, whoever it is that owns Newsweek or whatever didn't want Cheryl on the cover, so they bumped it. They had the story, they watered it down, the Institute of Medicine story.
Mm-hmm.
Not a word about Cheryl was mentioned, and they had to come up with a real quick cover, because this was like 2 days before it came out, 3 days, and you know, it was like one of the big disappointments of her life. You know, I mean, going to be on the cover of Newsweek and get bumped because they didn't want such a dramatic, fitting view of marijuana as medicine on the cover of their magazine. And I forget her name. I tried to get copies of the picture, and it was.
You just froze.
I would have sued because that was understood that yes,
You keep freezing.
did all this thing, and it was early in the morning because they had to get it there that day.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody called and said nothing. I was pissed, and I never got to see what the pictures looked like. So. I forget I even mentioned that, but. Oh yeah, I got in contact with her. I try to make her feel as shit as best I could, because like. Newsweek. That wasn't. Mine's shifting here. Yeah. Yeah, that was. There's no way to fix that either. You know, pretty helpless feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well.
So I was an introvert too.
What's that?
I was an introvert.
All right. Well, then we're like a club.
Yeah, we could be the introvert club. No, I really wasn't. I'm lying.
We need our own sandwich, a club sandwich. That's a Mitch Hedberg.
That's where Lefty went. You sent him out for a club sandwich, right? That's why he's gone?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be. That was a Mitch Hedberg thing. He'd be like, you know, a club.
No, he's back.
I'm not a member. Yeah.
No, I'm right. I'm just off camera. I'm here.
Yeah.
You brought us back a club sandwich. Because I said I was an introvert too.
And so what changed? No, I mean.
I was never an introvert. I am the oldest child.
Oh, you're a prankster.
Yeah.
I pretend to be an introvert.
The oldest child is never an introvert because you tell everybody else what to do. You know, I used to tell my brothers and my sister that I let them live in that house. But everything there belonged to me. I only let them use things. You know, if they wanted like a glass of water, you know, and I was babysitting, I would say, well, you have to pay me. You know, it was that kind
of. My brother, 15 months older.
Didn't he boss you around?
Yeah. No, we were best friends.
Oh yeah, boys are
Yeah.
like that. My boys are best friends.
Yeah. Well, we were best friends, and I hung with his friends
Mhm.
because I was a better little baseball player than them. I mean, it was like I had it upped my game.
Mhm.
But Rick was always the one that like he could just talk to girls he didn't
Okay.
know. You know.
You don't have to.
Well, you're on a meeting. So.
Anyway, Ricky, yeah, older brother definitely.
He was your best friend.
Yeah, well, but he was. I don't know. He was extrovert. He was just he knew it didn't matter. You know, I couldn't. If I wanted to talk to a girl I didn't know, there was no way it was. Scenario it just. We'd be like, I'd be with him and two other people, maybe over at the beach, and we're at Seaside, and we're riding up that little 10.
This frame keeps freezing.
Yeah, there was two girls on the front seat of a convertible in front of us, and without a word, Rick just hopped out of the car and went and vaulted over into the back seat of their car and goes, "So where are we going?" And they thought it was funny, and then we had to follow them all the way up through Lavalette to whatever's past Lavalette where they were going, so we could pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very visual representation of the difference. I wasn't even driving a car. I'm a passenger car. I just watched him do that. They're obviously getting along fine. We don't have cell phones. We got to follow them. I hope they're not going really far, you know. But he could live in that moment, you know.
Yeah.
And the one thing he was right about beyond that was he would always be like, "Hey, how was that? Didn't suck. It don't suck." And I'm like, "No, I want more, and it don't suck." He goes, "Nah, that's good enough. You can make your world your own with the rest if it just doesn't suck in the beginning."
Mm-hmm.
And I've come to think, yeah, you could live by that, you know. So yeah, and then Shy and a third one, man, he's a mess. I don't know what happens to the youngest of three, but I also, yeah, my younger brother's 3 years younger, but I would do things with him growing up when, you know, we got on our bikes and not tell mom and go for like a 14-mile ride one way.
Mm-hmm.
And then have to come on, take all day. We were at the park, but you know, he'd be like, I think he was like 7 and I was 10. You know, it wasn't like we were young, and that's a mile apart. And then when we played baseball right out on the street, he'd like to play, and everybody'd say, "Yeah, but you got to pick him. You got to pick him first. He's on your team." You know, so we got, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I've come to find it's apparently a little bit rare to have 3 kids all getting along really good. Never fought. Huh.
Never?
No, we had. No, I saw it first. No, I called it. You know.
I don't think we really. No, we didn't really.
Well, Kate, who gets to lick the icing out of the bowl or the beater things? You know, we had arguments over that. But,
yeah.
I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, I used to wait till my one brother was sitting on the basement steps, you know, with the door open, and I would shut the door and knock him down the stairs, like things like that. We would do, you know.
Yeah, but if it's not, if it wasn't, it's
no, it was funny.
I know. I've seen that as well. You know,
right?
Yeah. I don't know. I also almost never play tricks on people. I don't know why. I just feel bad about it. I feel bad about it afterwards. I don't know. But then that opens the door now and then for a really good one. You know, Jim would never do that. Actually, I ended up meeting girls by being in places where you would casually be having a couple of beers, and you know how guys can get. And one of my friends would, I say questionable something with a girl. It's the kind of thing where you just do something. I'm not talking about grabbing her how you should or, you know, real minor league shit. And I'd say something about it. Come on, man. What do you want to do that for? She's here to have a good time. And then my friends didn't understand what I was doing. I was undermining them to be the good guy. And next thing you know, I was sitting on the side talking
Doing the
shit
same
about
thing.
I'd be sitting with them, giving my own friends shit. And they'd be like hanging with me.
Mm-hmm.
Try to be nice. I don't know.
How old were you when you had your first girlfriend?
Oh, wow. 16, and that was a loose term. I mean, where I didn't go in any. Give you an example. Met a couple of girls because I have a friend who has a boat. It's cool to be like 15 or 16, where you're out on a boat where you're driving around. Everybody's there on.
Right.
Yeah, really cool. We met a couple of girls. Yeah, listen, go to the boardwalk, okay. And I had to get a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, that's right. You live down the shore, right?
My mom took us over, picked them up, and dropped us off at the boardwalk. Now the thing is, one of the girls is pretty keen on me. That's why she, brought her friend. But the wingman thing didn't work out, and they ditched us. So all of a sudden now it's just him and me at a boardwalk, and the two girls that were there, they could walk back. They lived in Lavalette, it's from Tom's River. It was kind of funny because even then it was like, wow, that's mildly disappointing. And I didn't know what to say. It was because of my friend. He wasn't like, I guess he wasn't anybody's type really, but didn't know they'd ditch us. I didn't care. I just thought her friend and my friend wouldn't have a good time. I didn't care, But then all of a sudden, oh, mine disappeared. It's about the time I got a driver's license. I found it easier, and that I kind of have a couple of beers, and then I became less shy. So, yeah. Huh. None of that's to be proud of. I'm like trying to find a gym. You just talked about some really unredeeming shit for a while. What's the point? Yeah. Whatever, but it did change with we're gonna have to tell people about this, that it works for MS, so you can't really be shy about that, and being shy doesn't get media attention, and I found out that you can be shy and push a wheelchair across the state. You're not going to really be talking to anybody. You hear a horn, you raise your hand, probably a friendly, of course, an angry horn. Sounds like a friendly horn, so half empty, half full thing, I guess,
Do you remember that milkman story you told to my grandsons? They've repeated that story.
Really?
Yes. Rocco thought you were hilarious. He really did that.
Yeah.
Even the older one.
Yeah, that it's sort of like. For a second, I had to think about, because right in my head it was like, my dad's strange. Actually, we tell my younger brother that he was the postman dropped him off. So when you said the postman story, I thought, oh no, yeah. Well, I had a revelation. I've always been.
Yes. Thank you. You're turning it higher or lower?
No, lower. It's hot in here. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
What?
What are we going to do about taking her out?
I'll take her out.
I taught myself something by being a creative little soul. When I found out and had permission to use scissors, so I could cut paper. Real people scissors, not
Mhm.
not the rounded edges one. I wanted to make a stuffed animal because in my mind I could cut paper so thin it looked like hairs, an edge of paper if you got really careful. Anyway, I got some glue, some tape. I don't know what else I got. Some paper and scissors, things you can't make a stuffed animal out of. And I really thought I was gonna. And yeah, I knew Mom was kind of humoring me, but and then I got all ready, and then it came time to, what are you gonna do? It doesn't look like hair really. It's a piece of paper with both sides of it cut. I'm like, yeah, but that would look. There's no way. And it's like suddenly realizing how stupid I was all by myself. So part of me was proud that I now realized how stupid I was. But then how good can you feel about that is a very conflicting thing because there was no getting around it. There was no, oh, well, no, oh, well, nothing, Jim. Holy. I could lift up my brother when maybe I was 3 and he was 4. He's 5 pounds heavier. And yet I could get behind him, or no, can you lift me up? Yeah, he could lift me up too, But I'm thinking he's 5 pounds heavier. I can lift him up. I swear to God. I sat there like I'm sitting there now. I clasped my hands together underneath myself, and I couldn't rise up in the air. and I was perplexed. The first time I could take a bath by myself. I mean, oh, wow, this is so cool. What I've always wondered is if I dried off my arm for like minutes and dipped both my arms in the water and came out, it would surely be drier than the one that I didn't dry off real. But the coup de grace was this. The scissors, before I earned rights to be able to use them, I don't know what led me to do it, but I found out that if you did this, and cut the scissors straight as can be, one snip,
Mhm.
it's a freaking circle. And I'm all alone all this time, and I had pajama bottoms too, but I didn't do them. I Swiss cheese the entire thing. It's like, oh, here's stuff. Another, and Mom and Dad came in the room, came down the stairs, and it was really funny because like Mom started with the, oh, Jimmy, and Dad burst out laughing. It was the funniest thing he'd ever seen, He what? He and I'll tell you, man.
You were how old when you did that?
What's it? 3-ish, 4. I was really young. I remember my younger brother coming home from the hospital, and I was 2 years and 10 months old then. I remember holding him, but my memory's like that, and I can tell you where all the furniture is. It stays. Yeah. No, there was there's way more than that. Yeah, I don't even know why I want to remember that. So it's.
That's a funny memory. But you know what? I think we've all done that. I remember doing that too.
Yeah.
Right? You pulled your clothes out and you snipped, and you had a circle. It was amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. It was age of discovery, but I could figure things out. I was just curious about all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So but it helps. It's supposed to help for doing the activism / advocacy. You have to be that kind of creative. So I don't know. Need to get creative again. You need to see things differently. Not differently. It's really a different angle. People say see it differently. You see from a different direction. The reason I know that standing silently in front of Nick Scutari's house, if it takes that, and just I know it's going to get under his skin, and he can't imagine it. I mean, in his head, if he even, it's different. And it's simply because I can look with such convincing myself. It's like, oh, let me look outside here, and I picture, what if there was somebody that I'd wronged outside right now? What is on? Well, not now. It's dark. You know, you could. I left Frank Malone's house. It's dark. Oh, I can't see it. But my point is, nobody would want that. And if you lived by yourself and it was all about you, it might be one thing. But there's other people live at that house. You know, and it gets discussed at that house. And there'll be a conversation after that at that house. Is it going to happen again? That's going to happen. Nobody would want that. And I would really be bothered if that was going on, because I'd have to explain that. What's he doing here? I owe money, and I was a jerk to him. Yeah, whatever. You know, I mean, I don't want to be talking about that. Anyway, so I'm just kind of hoping the rat that Lefty Boy, he did that. I explained to that I didn't want to do a one-man quick thing at Scutaris with verification by way of video. I don't want to do that out of nowhere. I want to do something that will not work, and then that'll be the next step. Then it graduates. You know, in other words, no, a protest at his office with a 10-foot rat isn't the end of the road. It's the beginning. It's like a warning shot. It's like, okay, now we're going to start having some fun. But it's going to go right from that. It's going to take that quantum leap to something much simpler. Less to organize. Less people. 1, 2, 3. It'll be a fun day. Much like it is at the office protest, police and Clark police will know about this ahead of time. Lefty's going to make sure how much notice they would like as to when we're going to be at the office. So, yeah, that's a nice safe path, and it's going to be fun. But in and of itself, I don't know. It's going to loosen the jar. Somebody else take the cap off. Lefty, in your mind, how long do you figure it'll be at a Scutari office protest? I mean, they're obvious on break. They're not going to have much going on at the office, so it's you know, our worlds aren't going to collide there at all. But recording the presence of it and kind of establishing that it's our playground for a few hours.
Yeah, signage. We need good signage.
Yeah. Oh, need sign. We need
Ratari.
Ratari.
You can't be a godfather if you're a rat.
You know,
Ratari.
Godfather Ratari is a rat.
I was talking with Andrea.
Come on, don't do the Italian thing.
No, listen.
No, he wants to be the godfather. He said.
Well,
he's no godfather.
That's what he said.
No. He said some people have called me the godfather of cannabis. He said that.
Who?
He said that.
Scutari said that. He said it on Spotlight, New Jersey.
Nobody's calling you that.
Yeah, I mean, this is not like I heard this. Yeah, I heard it. I heard it from his freaking mouth.
That he's the godfather of cannabis.
No. Some people say that. It's one phrase short of going, oh, well, a guy walked up to me and on the road. No, like nobody ever walks up to you in a story. Just saying that. But he's doing that. He's doing his own inside out version of Tim Russert doing his thing. You know, it's like, yes, it's been said by some that I'm the godfather of cannabis. How do you respond?
Did you see that the what do you call it? The president of Teamsters is at the Republican convention.
Yeah, amazing.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Never happened before.
That's really weird.
Yeah, I can't do anything about it.
Well, you could go with the rat.
Oh yeah, Ooh, I'm losing one.
I want a helium rat. I want to fill it with helium.
Do you have do you have a
listen,
tank of helium?
I'll have to get one.
Okay.
the
And you're gonna go to Scutari's house?
No, I want
No.
to go to his office with the
it's
rat.
office. Oh no,
Where's
yeah,
his office?
it's all about doing the office now.
Where's his office?
Clark.
In Clark. Okay. I know where that is.
That's where Dugan's was located, where my dad worked. Clark.
Guys, I got to go.
That means Jim can't tell me any more stories. Oh,
Yeah, you know.
we need to catch up. Me and Jim need to catch up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all right. We'll do a phone call.
Oh, well, real quick, the 2-word Scutari thing, it'll end. Yes, we're done. Okay, you can't see I'm pointing at you. That'd be you, Sue.
You're looking down.
Yeah, anyway. I forgot what I was going to say. This has been a good night. Oh, yeah. Stop Scutari. That's the phrase that Chris Goldstein is talking about, that Andrea and some people wanted, thought they had a shot at raising the money and where the billboard would be and about hunger for patients. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And so I was talking with Andrea on Sunday because she was with Paco, and Paco stopped over to see me on Thomas River at the family compound. You kind of figure out the reasons for all that. But anyway, in talking then, it was it was "Stop Scutari" was the catchphrase, and I love it. I mean, beyond the alliteration value, just stop Scutari. If somebody knows nothing about what's going on, and it's titled "Stop Scutari," begs the question: from doing what? It's sort of like it's all, stop Scutari from, well, if it comes with other signs like he's blocking a bill from being heard and somebody's going, we got to stop him. We got to stop him from stopping the bill. It's just, it goes with everything. Stop Scutari. Got to stop him. And also, no reason not to word up a quick move on .org petition or something. You write up the right thing. A lot of people sign. It doesn't mean anything except you get to say 3,000 people sign this. So if it's written well and succinct and to the point, it's just one more thing to add, and it really doesn't cost money. So.
Did you see only 30,000 people did the public comment?
No.
Yeah, that's all.
For a country, wow.
That's it. 30,000.
I could act surprised.
They didn't really have to put the number out there. I would have been fine with I didn't need to know.
Did you see Paco's thing, Nick the Dick Scutari? I kind of like that,
Nick the Dick. Yeah, I like that. That's a good name.
Well, we're losing Cody, right? Is that true, Lefty? This is Cody's swan song this session?
He's gone already.
He's gone already?
Yeah.
So there's a new dick in town.
Yes.
Okay,
You can
there.
see that.
Pass the dick torch. Nick the Dick.
Instead of the rat, you should have got a big dick. Big ugly one.
You still
They're
can.
not
They're not mutually
I hate to
exclusive.
tell you guys that.
Yeah.
What?
They're not mutually exclusive. We can still get that.
Well, there's Tom Zimmer's best comedian ever, I think, is a guy named Paul Veneer, who's otherwise known as Dick Face. You ask people in the Ocean County area, especially, the comedian Dick Face, he's like really, really funny, but he does that because he had like a Bongholio type of thing. Yeah. And that'd be him. He'd come out like that. He's a creative genius. And he involves everybody in the audience. You can't get away. The man is George Carlin like in his ability to spin a thing out, and he's a postal guy. And if you tell him your zip code, 08753 Towser, he can straight back and he involves you. So he has a costume like that. Maybe they are around to be had.
Mhm.
Oh, quick, Lefty. I know you got to go. Time frame for doing that. What do you
I
see
will
it?
have the rat in a week,
Yeah.
so sometime in August.
Why not September?
Why not both?
Yeah, both is fine.
I want to do
September
both.
would be good because like that's when people start to come back.
Yes, I want to
Yeah.
turn the heat up. I'm getting
No.
too old, and I'm getting tired of this
Well,
shit.
well, I agree, but if that's why I was telling you before I would feel comfortable going to Scutari's house. It would have to be after a couple of solid normal efforts, like go to the office. Now, go say, I went to his house because people had already been to the office, but that was before. In my mind, with everything I got over all the years, in my mind, it's saying it needs a more compressed time frame, like we are just saying, do one August, follow up in September, and then
And of course, the State House. We'll have the State House.
yeah, but then by after that in September, early October, if we do it the way I have in mind, I'll take part. I don't know how that sounds, but I have to say that, and it really wouldn't involve more than 3 or 4 people to do it right. The less, the better. Because it'll seem like an innocuous sort of thing. I mean, seriously, one person facing away from the house with a sign. No engagement going on. Somebody recording it. Maybe another person. Max 3. To me, I'm seeing like 2 and somebody making sure the view of it somewhere. And reason for facing away from the house is you turn your back on somebody like that. But more, you're
It's
not
a sign of disrespect.
and it's also not looking into their windows, not watching what they're doing. You want to come out in your front yard and get the mail, I'm not even going to talk to you. I'm just going to stand there. And it was
Yeah, but it's a statement. It's a good statement
yeah.
of disrespect.
Well, it's what I did at Frank Ballone's house, only by myself, walking 28 steps back and forth, and I'd always turn the wheelchair away from the house in a really elongated figure 8, always turning away, and that has the right look. It's not yelling, it's not pots and pans banging, it's not a bullhorn, it's not. It's just to be there, just to do it. It's that simple. Just to exist there for 2 hours, to show up and do absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. So the skills needed are to be able to travel freely and stand there. And to that effect, I'm probably have to have something sit down. I can't stand that kind of time, But I'm good to do that, and I'm the one to do it because I have the history. It'll play well if we do a couple of rats at his office first and a couple of state houses with the exact same focus. This is about information. It's all about getting a hearing, an informational hearing. It's not about getting co-sponsors. It's not about wanting to know where you stand. I don't want to know where you stand. You don't have a right to stand on this issue without an informational hearing. I don't know where you're getting your information. You're going to get echo chamber logic from both sides to say whether a bill should be heard. No, you hear the freaking bill. You have an informational hearing for that, and stopping it is stopping the information. Senate President wants to stop a bill. You don't let it be brought up for a vote. That freaking simple. But you don't let it be up for a vote after the information's out there. You don't stop the vote from happening, the information from happening, so you don't have to be the bad guy. And really, if you don't post it for a vote, it's like he's not allowing it to be voted on. He's in the way of the democratic process. But that doesn't happen for an informational hearing. It's weird. It's like It's chicken shit, you know.
Mm.
Stand up. Explain what you're saving us from. Explain what New Jersey is benefiting from keeping this from patients. They've got to articulate after all this time, and it's not being done. And that deserves a visit to the House.
I have a question. Okay, they have a bill in, about psilocybin, right? That mushroom.
Yeah.
So does it say home grow? I don't remember.
No, it did, but it was taken out, and it was put in to be taken out.
Yeah, it was taken out.
Was taken out.
Yeah, I got to run. I really got it.
But it wasn't a home grow. What it had was language said it would not be unlawful to grow.
Right. That's what I remember.
So
yes.
so they took that
changed.
language out.
They took that
But
out.
they
So
put
they took that out?
They put that language out because, and I'm going out on a limb. I know this because I got it figured out, not because somebody told me. They put that out. I want to sell a car for $3,500. I'm going to ask for $4,800. They're going to beat me down. It's like I want to get a bill passed. I'm going to put some shit in like home grow, but I'm not going to go through the work to say how many mushrooms and the conditions. None of that. Let's throw a phrase in there people will jump on, and then we'll negotiate it out and pass it the same day.
Yeah.
Guys, I got to run. I have to get up at 5 a.m. I got to go.
Okay, goodbye.
I'll catch y'all Thursday.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you guys can continue it. I'll just drop off.
Do I
We got
look like I'm
Farmer Tom. Don't forget, Farmer Tom is coming on Thursday.
Okay. I'm going to drop off, and then you guys can continue, actually.
Okay, so we're done recording then.
And no, you're actually going to keep recording until you.
That's cool.
I
Good to know.
believe this will be a good test because I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll monitor from the.
Well, it's going to inhibit a certain amount of conversation that otherwise would have happened.
It is.
Let's see what happens. All right, see you.
Yeah.
Listen to him. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I know it's like the what we're doing is a little down low, like you were saying. You just to not really mention our project too much.
Right.
So I'm trying to.
So with the humidity, things have been. How do I want to say this? Never mind. I probably don't. I can't think of how to say it. We've had some very hot, humid days.
Mm-hmm.
So it inhibits growth, but it also lets the growth happen.
Yep.
Okay. So each time, I'm going to speak like in hieroglyphics to you, and you're going to understand what I'm talking about. You'll figure it out. So each time, more come back.
Okay.
Yep. Each time. So there's been 3 rounds. 3 rounds, like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I think we're going to try for the 4th round and see what happens. But each time, more will be revealed.
No,
how else to say?
I'm 90% right with you.
Okay.
90%. I mean, I can't be sure. I might be 100.
Nah, I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
mm-hmm.
Good for humidity.
Yeah. I just know this person that I think wants to test out their skills.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All
right. I think the 10-foot rat is going to be fun.
I do too. I think that's going to be fun. It's always fun. We used to, I was a union organizer, right? And that I also worked for a union.
Yes.
Yes, you know that. Okay.
Yes.
So we had the rat, of course.
Yeah.
And that was always fun to bring out.
It's
It's a little-
it's basically, to me, creating a foundation for what I really want to do, but I want all the bases to be touched on. I don't want to leave anything not thought about. And the idea of it being a quick progression now while they're in recess, still go to the office and still do the thing at State House. And I want to think of some other little things like the petition, you know, all the normal stuff. And yeah, I know it's not going to work, and he's not going to say, okay, now that you put it that
Oh,
way,
yeah, now the
let's
rat's
have
out.
a Zoom meeting.
Mhm.
But then it frees me up to be able to do what I need to do
Mhm.
and have the background to stand on that it didn't have to be this way, you know.
Yeah.
And it will come with it won't be a surprise. He'll have the whole plan ahead of time. And
Well, you know what's
I don't
good-
mean a day ahead of time. It's going to be the police will know. And with Lefty, it's like they like a day's notice. And I like the lack of knee-jerk reaction when that happens. That works for everybody. And
Yeah, because I think I said I must have said it's Lefty. I said the PBA, they're not going to care.
no, well,
They'll support it.
it's to have an Esquire write the letter to Scutari's office, there by Scutari, and the whoever the authorities are. I guess I don't. He lives in Mendham, so it would go to them, and it would go ahead of time without. It'd be like the police. It'd be like, now I can let you know 3 or 4 days ahead of time, easily, not a problem. Him, you know, I'd rather not alert at all exactly when, but I really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But if I do some of my better writing,
yeah, and you write
saying things without saying them,
right,
and ask the Esquire to include this. Jim wanted me, you know, to, and that's my plan and my words, and then the lawyer stuff can happen. Where he can say to them, I think we can all agree that he does have a First Amendment right to do this. And I think we should all appreciate that Jim's going to do it in the manner that he is. It's going to be the lowest key possible thing he's tried over the years. You know, here's the deal. And they are going to understand. And it's something he can't stop.
Right.
And I want him to feel that. It's not going to be right away. He's going to have that notice, and it's going to be into the second week, and he's going to be looking out his window. It's human nature. That's where it's going to be.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be waiting for it. But meanwhile, I'm pretty sure I'll have found a channel to his office, because they would kind of like to know what I have to say, maybe at this point, you know? In other words, about what I'm going to do, or am I not going to do it? And that's what I'm hoping I can have. What it is, a step he can take to keep it from happening, but never again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's under that thumb, you know. Yeah. But to say we can certainly try this first, and I don't know what it'll be along the lines of a Zoom meeting. He can have whoever he wants on it, and I would have 1 or 2 other people. But basically, I want to negotiate. I want to clear statements on some things that people would think, why wouldn't he want to tell them that? Nick Scutari knows why this was taken out on June 6, 2009. There's no way Herb Conaway would have done that and then say, but I'm not going to tell you who's behind this, Nick. And Reed Goose, you are in the assembly. I'm not going to tell you who's behind this. All I'm going to say is I'm taking them out, and don't ask me why. No, he did tell them why. And they're under some sort of obligation to certainly not talk about that. What's he going to say? It was taken out and I never found out why. How inept does that sound? You know, at any point, I want him to say, if Herb Conaway won't, you know why? Why don't we know why?
Yeah.
You know, you
What's the reason?
You owe us. because you said we could revisit it in the future.
Yeah.
Now you're in the way of that happening, but we don't even know what happened the first time, and you do, and that's not fair.
And
We want
this
to know
is
clearly.
this
Yeah.
is now the future.
Yeah, and that's non-negotiable.
Mhm.
We need to know that. That's not asking him to give up anything. That's asking him to do what should happen. And if it was a legal proceeding, yeah, you'd have to offer that information up. And but that's like the negotiating point, something I could drop out too. In other
You know
words,
what, you know what kind of sucks though about all of this too is now there's we have the whole Republican, whatever they call them, the Republican Party is going up against this whole movement, to deschedule, reschedule, whatever they want to do. They're blocking it.
Hmm.
Now we know that is not going to come to fruition
but
for
how
years anyway.
that isn't a legislative process though. How would they block that from happening? In other words, this is between the DEA, the FDA, and however the rescheduling process goes. It doesn't take a legislation.
It's
it's
the Department of Justice, right?
Yeah.
So their officials are elected to the Department of Justice, right? So if they have, and however they do this with who I don't know who the Department of Justice reports to the Attorney General. Okay. Our Attorney General right now is
Merrick Garland.
Okay. So he's a very, very strict conservative.
But he follows. It's about the law. It's not about his opinions, even. In other words,
that's all this. All of this is its opinions. Okay, that's how people get elected. They get elected by opinions.
Yeah, it's the process of the deschedule or the rescheduling, or descheduling. I'm not saying Republicans don't have the influence to stop it, but it would be really a back channel behind, you can't see it so clearly as making a statement and taking a vote and speaking against it. It's my understanding. It's certainly the DEA. It's so ingrained. They're being dragged there kicking and screaming, and they've just kind of run out of time after 3 decades of being able to just bat everything away with 2-year delays, and we're still studying it. There's no time limits placed on.
Yeah, but the DEA doesn't have the power to stop it. It's
right, exactly. But I'm thinking what they would love would be like, let's skip Schedule 3 in favor of being fair and talking about descheduling. Right. And they could drag that conversation another decade.
Yeah.
That would be the plan. It's a backdoor stall of place. It's like having a delay in a court case or something. First we'll do this, and then when I would say it could happen consecutively, rather than one jump over the other. However, I don't spend a lot of time on it because
it's lightning by you. I could see it from your back door.
What's that?
It's lightning by you.
Oh,
I could say it. You missed it.
Had a tree get hit by lightning here.
Did you?
Yeah, and I was looking at the door and saw a flash. I didn't see the actual bolt.
Yeah.
And
I just saw the flash by your door because I've been watching it from my window over here.
I was
and I'm in Bergen County.
I was picking up bark like 100 feet away.
Did it split the tree?
Oh yeah, it took part of it off, and then it did such serious damage.
Splits it.
Yeah, that it's just now it's like about a 20-foot stump.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Have it cut down and get rid of it. Yeah.
All right, Jim. Listen, I gotta take my dog out before it starts to pour.
Yeah.
So why don't you and I continue this conversation tomorrow? Sometime tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow's good. Yeah.
Like
I mean,
afternoon.
yeah, afternoon. Yeah, I don't have like a
Yeah.
schedule.
Yeah,
on
because
that.
I have to do namaste in the morning, and then I have a meeting to go to, and then I'll be back. I should be back here by
Yeah.
2, somewhere by 2.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay. And we
Yeah.
will.
If yes, this is where the technology works. Yeah. When you know, like an hour or two ahead of time, I mean, it'd be in the afternoon, but then I get to get stuff done like to a
Mhm.
more specific time. Then and it just works well for me because I finally am going to have a day where I can be like right here. I even went out and cut the front and backyard this afternoon.
Today, the hottest day of the summer.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have to do it.
Good man.
So I wouldn't have to do it tomorrow or next day because I need 2 days of, and I'm good. And I'm
Gym time. It's lightning again.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
did it again.
yeah. I don't care. I cut that shit down. It don't need to be cut now.
All right.
All right. I'll talk tomorrow.
Let's talk tomorrow. Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.